My name is Mohammed. It is time for researcher Zukan. In this program, we introduce the researchers all over the university. Today's researcher is Mirza HASANUZZAMAN from Sher-e-Bangla Agricultural University. Nice to meet you. So, let's start the interview. First of all, could you tell me what kind of research do you mainly focus on?
Thank you, Muhammad. Actually, I do research on weed control, especially allelopathy. And allelopathy is the phenomenon of one crop having detrimental effect on another plant by secreting some toxic chemicals.
Why do you focus on the research?
Well, we know that weeds are one of the major problems for crop yield, and wheat plants compete with crop plants for nutrient, light, water, etc., and that's why crop yield is reduced. And if we can sustain from this type of problem, we should control the weed, and there are several methods of weed control, among them cultural, mechanical, physical, biological and chemical controls are important. Although we are randomly use chemical for controlling weed that is harmful for our soil and environment, and sometimes cropland is injured due to excess use of chemical, and that's why we can use allelopathic knowledge for controlling the weed.
How do you carry out the research?
Yeah, we carry out the research in two stages. At first, we do the research in laboratory, and lastly, we do the research in field.
Very nice. What is your motivation towards the research?
Yes, as weeds are the major problem for limiting crop yield. That's why we should control the weed properly, and if we can develop a proper method for controlling weed by allelopathy, we should do such type of research, and we should extract some specific chemicals which are harmful for wheat plants.
Okay. What kind of resources can you give to other researchers?
Well, after doing my research, I can arrange some seminar, symposium. I can publish some research materials to different journals, so that the researcher can access these information for their advanced research, and that's why they can gather some information from me.
Could you tell me more about this?
Well, I told earlier that I will at first perform some seminar, symposium, and different plant journals. I will publish my research results, and I will also communicate with the advanced researchers so that they can do some advanced research.
Is there any other resources you can give?
Yes, besides information, I can also give some research personnel and some methodology to those researchers.
Is that all of your resources?
Well, these are all are not my resources. I sometimes collect information and some equipment from different sources.
What kind of research are you going to plan in the future?
Well, in future I have planned to do research on plant stress physiology, especially excess water stress and salinity stress.
That's interesting. Could you explain it more?
Yes, I can. We know that excess water stress is one of the major stress for crop production. Excess water means the water which is not required for crops. This is excess, and there have a great influence of excess water on crop morphology, physiology, and anatomy. And if we can find out the physiological, chemical, and anatomical change which occur due to excess water, we can develop a suitable variety for excess water stress. And in case of salinity stress, we know that in our coastal area there are great problem of salinity, and crop plant cannot stand in those areas, and in that case we can observe the effect of salinity on crop morphology, physiology and anatomy.
Okay. What makes you to do the research?
Yes, in that case we will also perform the experiment in laboratory and field. In laboratory we will analyze the effect of different salt treatment and different excess water treatment on crop morphology, physiology, anatomy, and we will also observe the enzymetic stress, enzymetic changes due to stress in several crops, and from that we can bring out a conclusion that what crop will stand in those type of stresses.
Okay. What will happen if you complete the research in the future?
Well, if we can complete the research successfully, we will able to select the proper varieties, the suitable varieties for coastal area, because saline stress area, and also for flood affected area, because we can cultivate a suitable variety which will stand in those areas well, and this will ultimately increase the crop production, and this will minimize the food crisis in this country.
What kind of resources do you want to take from other researchers?
I usually take some resources from other source, because we have some limitations, and we expect that we should bring some equipment, some lab facilities, and some expert manpower from different sources.
Let me focus a little more about this.
At first we will bring some instruments from other sources, and as we are new in this area, we can bring some expert personnel and some lab personnel to do the research successfully.
Is there any other resources you need?
Besides the laboratory and manpower, we need some advanced information and findings regarding this type of research.
Okay. Could you carry out your future research with flood and salinity stress?
Yes, I already told that we have planned to do research on flood and salinity stress.
Why do you choose this topic?
Well, because in Bangladesh, the country is suffering by flood almost every year, and farmers are suffering from this type of problem. And if we can develop such a variety which is cultivatable for those regions, so this will be nice, and the crop will be increased, and ultimately the food crisis will be minimized in those areas. And in coastal area, the saline tolerant crops will stand there, and these will also bring some extra benefit, extra yield, and these will ultimately decrease the food crisis.
Oh, yes, very nice idea. It is time to finish. Today's researcher was Mirza HASANUZZAMAN. Thank you very much again. See you next time. Bye.
Thank you.